Hello, everybody. Welcome to John chapter 9 as we are just doing a march to Easter, going through the book of John one chapter at a time. And I feel the honor to maybe kind of be your tour guide, as if we were sitting across a coffee table and just walking through the Gospel of John together. Today in chapter 9, it's really one story, and so I'll give you this little idea, and I hope you enjoy it. It's a story about this man who was born blind. And the disciples asked Jesus, whose fault is this, that he was born blind? Was it this man's fault or was it his parents' fault? And Jesus is like, no, it's nobody's fault he was born this way. The fault is the sin of Adam, right? But I'm going to use it to show my glory. And you just read this, and so what happens after the healing is one of my favorite things. And it's honestly, it's my answer to people who ask me about what God has done in my life after reading this. So he gets healed, and the Pharisees, who are trying to find anything to accuse Jesus, go to this guy's parents. What happened? Was this guy born blind? And they go, look, we don't want to answer the question. Ask him, because they were afraid of the Pharisees. And so then they bring the guy, and they're like, look, what happened? I was healed. And they're like, well, where is he? And all this kind of stuff. And then they kind of go back and forth. And what I love is they say, don't pay attention to Jesus. Thank God for your healing. But this man, he's not of God. I love his answer. He says this, whether he's from God or not, I can't say. All I can say is, I once was blind and now I see. It's one of my favorite testimonies in the entire Bible. That's my testimony. When I have people who try to corner me on theological chicken and egg kind of questions, and questions that really don't have answers, and they're not trying to have a conversation, they're trying to win an argument, this kind of thing. And it's almost like you don't have room to say, I don't know. I love to finally come back and go, look, I don't have all the answers to all your questions. I wish I did. All I can tell you is I once was full of darkness and emptiness and fear, and now I have life. And I can't explain to you everything there is to know about God. All I can tell you is he's made a difference in my life because I've embraced the peace that only comes through knowing Jesus. Now, does that take away all my questions? No. What I realize is all my questions don't have to have answers anymore. And I love that. So when you read this, I want you to see yourself in the place of this blind man. Someone who had no help, no hope. He's just trying to get by the best he can. And then he has an encounter with Jesus. And then somebody comes along later and says, you shouldn't believe what happened to you. What is your answer going to be? Are you someone who follows Jesus, and then because of questions that you've had trouble answering, or critics, they've told you, don't trust in what happened to you. Don't trust in your own experience. Trust in what we say. You know what you ought to tell them? Hey, listen, whether I have all the answers or not, I don't know what to tell you. What I can't deny is what God's done on the inside of me. Hope you enjoy this chapter. I'll see you tomorrow for the next one, and it's going to be a great, great chapter.